into your finite planet. Now go all the way up to the very top of your head. And this is like kind of where your soft spot is when you were a little baby. For your seventh chakra, your crown chakra, and that is a grounding point to your infinite self. So through our chakra systems, we are the intermediary between the multidimensional realities and the physical body of Gaia. Now, the fourth chakra, or your height chakra, serves as the place where you intermingle the polarities of finite and infinite. So you can feel your heart chakra, which is right there where your heart is. And you could take just a moment here and feel the energies coming down in through your crown and down across your face and your throat and into your heart. And then now take a moment and feel your area of beloved Gaia and feel those energies as they move up through your feet and all the way up through your body and meet in your heart chakra. The heart chakra is a divine integrator. It integrates your physical self with your multidimensional self, especially in your high heart. And your high heart is in between your heart and your throat. And that is a higher frequency chakra, like your third eye. We'll talk about all that stuff later on. Okay, so now let's go back down into just take a little quick run up the body. So now starting at your first chakra, and your first chakra rules your skeleton, your legs, your knees, and your feet. Now that's my fun chakra because me and knees I've had a few things to say over the years. And I'm not real good at being grounded. So, all right, then your second chakra rules the genitals, your abdomen, and your lower back. Take a moment to calibrate that to your memory. And then your third chakra rules your liver, your gallbladder, your stomach, your spleen, and your pancreas. A lot of important stuff going on. And in your first chakra, it's about really getting grounded. And in your second chakra is a creative center. All the chakras, the lower chakras, from your heart down, they have their more physical part through that. And then when you move up into the higher chakras, it goes into the higher part. So as an example, with your first chakra rules your skeleton, your legs, your knees, and your feet, then what happens is that this is how you ground into earth. And so your higher chakras from your heart chakra up have this portal. So your first chakra is like the opening of your personal portal. And you know, the legs, it definitely, that's part of your first chakra, that's for sure. All right, now we're just going to go up into the others. Now, and those three chakras are like more of your unconscious self, especially if you haven't, I mean, as we really move through our perspective and become multidimensional beings, it's vital that we do our unconscious because we can only go so far in our superconscious without really taking a long look into our unconscious. Because our unconscious is where all our traumas are hidden and many of our greatest gifts. So we don't want to skip them. And that's what we're focusing on today. And then the conscious chakras are your fourth chakra, which rules your heart, your lungs, your immune system, your arms, and your hands. And your fifth chakra, which rules your throat, your mouth, your speech, and your hearing. Then as you move into your superconscious chakras, your sixth chakra rules your vision, your face, your head, your sleep, and your dreams. And your seventh chakra rules your brain and your nervous system. Now, this is a little disclaimer here. there's a lot of information about chakras, and like everything that we see and hear, things are dependent on the perspective of the person who writes it. And also, this was written many years ago by me. So if you have other information from other sources, what I do when I get conflicting information, I just figure that both are right and somewhere in between is where they meet. And so I ask you to do the same. And there, when we go into the actual chakras, earth chakras, some people are going to see that different earth chakras are there. And if you don't agree with where that earth chakra is, then you just go ahead and have it be what your idea of the earth chakra is. Because Gaia doesn't care. She just wants you guys to give her some help. And she's very happy to accept it. Okay, so now going in to your first chakra, feel your etheric body and your physical body, and feel these lessons of survival, vitality, and grounding into your physical life. And that is your etheric physical body. And then your emotional body, your second chakra, feel your emotions, your need for nurturing, your need to give nurturing, and your need for shelter. And then as you move into your mental body, which is your third chakra, it's all about thoughts and power systems, and it has a lot to do with duality of power over and power within. Now as you move into your divine child, your guardian angel, that's in your fourth chakra, and that rules love, health, and relationships. Now, don't worry about taking notes because this is all in the package that we're going to give to you. And it's all also on the blog. Then your causal body is your fifth chakra, and that rules your higher communications and higher creativity. And your sixth chakra rules your I am presence, which is your inspiration, imagination, and spiritual power. And your seventh chakra rules your multidimensional self, which is the unity with all multidimensional consciousness. All right. So, Shawnna, do you have any comments, anything that you think I wasn't clear about or that you'd like to add to that little intro?
Yeah, well, I think it's an excellent overview, and it makes us recognize the connections that we have with our internal systems, our physical body, our emotional, how it's all tied together. And I did want to just quickly share, whenever we think about, if we back up for just a moment and think about the importance of what we're discussing right now, and it's our connection to the planet, and you'll get into that in more detail, but as we consider our chakras and we compare those to the planetary chakras, we know that they're the same. We have that innate connection. We are, in a way, microcosms of the planetary macrocosm. So we are, we have the same elemental structure, the elements, the earth, air, fire, water, the chakra systems. So when we think about the importance, of connecting with ourselves and then the planet, you see that there's this interlinking, as we expand into higher dimensions. It's a process that, you don't want to separate, yourself and the planet. You are one. And I will share that the Arcturians, and Sue will mention this later probably anyway, they've stated that, it's time to focus on personal and planetary merging. Right now, it's quite important, and that's why this course has actually come to the forefront. And they share that when a person and a planet become one, chakra by chakra, humanity and Gaia can join their efforts and work as one being to ascend Earth and all her inhabitants into the fifth dimension and beyond. So in essence, that's what this is all about.
Thank you. I'm so glad you brought all that together. And if any of you have questions, you can write them in the comments section, and then when we take a break, then we'll read them, and the Arcturians will answer them. And that is correct. I want to amplify a bit what Shawnna was saying, that it really is the now. I mean, I put this stuff back in my blog in this was the early stuff back in the 90s. And then I wrote the Becoming One books, which cost me a huge amount of money, and I think I made maybe $5 on. So I'm just saying that because as we realize that, we are the forerunners. We are the forerunners. The people that are coming to these kinds of webinars and the people that are in the multidimensional school, definitely the forerunners. And so as a forerunner, I want to say to all of you, please do not get discouraged because you're going to get 1,000 no's before you get a yes. And that's how it is. And every time you get a no, then that pulls away a bit of your ego and a bit of, well, why don't they like me, or why aren't I good enough, or did I say it right? And we go through all of these releasings of the ego, and then we get to this place. It's like we're saying, it doesn't matter about me. I am just a portal. All that matters is the earth. We took our bodies now within this time to help Gaia, because Gaia is on the verge of ascension, and we are here for the planet. And it is not about us. We're already ascended. We already have our wonderful multidimensional self, and we are here. We volunteered to lower our frequency to come into these 3D bodies so that we can assist this beloved planet that allowed us myriad incarnations so that we could move through our state of mastery. So now we are going to, I'm not going to give the details on the chakras outside of what Shawn and I just did, because that's all in the blog, and you will all be getting the booklet that I've already put together for this part, and so that will go out with the recording. And remind me of that, Shawn. I'll make it into a PDF file too.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, is there any written questions there, Shawnna, that you think are important to answer before we start, or?
No, I think we're good. Just some nice hellos, and I will say, if it might be a fun exercise to just type in your location so we can kind of bring in that unity consciousness around the planet and see where everyone is representing today.
Oh, that's a great idea. Yeah, Shawnna told me that before, and I forgot. So.
I did too.
That's another thing. As your consciousness starts moving up to the higher frequencies, and you can choose between remembering amazing experiences and remembering to take out the trash, pay your bills, which are you going to pick? Okay, so, all right. Now, first chakra, as we said, is at the base of your spine. Now, what we are going to do for each of these 3 chakras, we are going to have you each look into your chakras, do a little bit of healing on your own chakra, and then we're going to look into Gaia's chakra and do a little bit of healing on Gaia's chakra, and then at the most healed state that we can come up with within this now, we're going to merge the 2 into oneness. All right. Anything to add there, Shawnna?
No, that sounds perfect.
Okay. So now as you go into the first chakra, and you can always put your hand on that area, and tune in to that area of your body. Now, I'm going to ask that you actually use that wonderful power of imagination and your wonderful clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience. To actually, clairvoyance being seeing, audience hearing, sentience feeling. And look at your first chakra and see it in its etheric form instead of looking at your particular body part. Look at a glow of reddish light. Now, the way that you can determine the state of your chakra, if your chakra is a clear, bright, clean color, then your chakra is doing pretty good. But if it's brown or gray or has black streaks to it or you can't even see it, then there's some help that you need to give to that chakra. And this changes from day to day, from minute to minute. Now, of course, there are some chronic situations, and that just means that that's a chakra that we have to really keep track of and make sure that it's getting what it needs. Now, as you look down at that red light at the base of your spine and the top of your legs, you can actually see this red energy field. And this red energy field is at the base of your spine, and it moves down your legs. This is how you connect to Earth. So beginning, first allow that red energy to go all the way down, past your hips, past your thighs, past your knees, past your calves, past your ankles, onto your feet, your big toe, your second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and your pinky toe. And clutch your toes as if you're holding on to something. You're holding on to the earth. You're holding on to Gaia. Now, going back to that primary resonance right at the base of your spine, look and see if there's any area that has a darkness in it. Just breathe into that area and highlight that area with the power of your breath. Our breath is our life force. Our breath has great power. And the way we best use that power is we breathe in through our nostrils, so we get a lot of activating, our third eye and activating our sixth chakra. So breathe in through our nostrils, and then we breathe out through the fifth chakra of our throat. So I'm going to have you do this for each chakra. So breathe in through your nostrils, as slow and as long as you can, and hold, hold, hold. Now as you breathe out now through your mouth, focus on your first chakra, and that breath will help activate your clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience. And as you look into that chakra, take a moment of the nowness to see if there's any component of your body in that area, right in the area of the chakra, that needs your unconditional love and violet fire. And if you find that to be true, then breathe in unconditional love and seal that unconditional love with violet fire. Now remember that your first chakra rules all the way down to your feet, but it also rules your skeletal system. So now we're asking that you go into your skeletal system, turn around inside your mind, and see like one of those skeletons you see hanging in the doctor's office. Only this one's alive and it says, "Hi, how are you?" And you're looking over your skeleton system. And start at the top of your head, and with your higher visions and instincts and clairvoyance, audience, all your great higher skills, you just go through and see, is there any place in your skeletal structure of your head that needs unconditional love and violet fire? And if it does, just send it right now. And now moving down to your neck and shoulders and arms and hands and fingers. Just the skeletal system, that's all. Anything in that skeletal area that needs unconditional love and violet fire. Just send it on. Oh, I found a few places in my own self. Now, as soon as I sent that violet fire, I could feel the Kundalini go up down my spine. So if you are having that same experience, congratulations. Okay, so now go looking down your skeletal area at your torso and on your rib cage. And if any of those areas, you see anything on your skeletal areas, and if it's an actual wounding, you'll actually probably see a form of wounding. But if it's a potential wounding, you might see like a little gray dot or a gray spot or a gray area. And what you want to do is catch it as a gray dot, and then you could just send it unconditional love and violet fire, and that'll heal it up really quick. And I've talked to so many people that do these types of things, and yes, it does work. It really does. But that doesn't mean you don't go to doctors. Yes, we do go to doctors. All right. And now we're looking at the skeletal area of our pelvic system. So remember, you're just looking at the skeleton, that's all. Now, if there's anything in your pelvic system, any areas there, you can send unconditional love and violet fire to. And then going down, looking into your hips, hip sockets, anywhere you have a ball and socket joint, then that's an easy place to wound and a hard place to heal. So if you missed your shoulders and elbows and wrists, you can go back and take another peek and see that the skeletal system is all fully connected, all the ligaments and muscles. Okay, now we're going back down to the hip joints again. These are very important because this is where all your spinal column originates in your brain. It goes down through the core of your spinal cord. It splits right down here at the base of your spine in your first chakra, and then they call it the horse's tail, and it comes out from the base of your spine, and it kind of free floats for just a teeny bit into the shell of the skeletal system of your hips and your legs. And so this is an area that we have to really focus on because we're a little more vulnerable there than other areas. And now moving down, skeletal system only. Look at your knees. And this is ruled by the first chakra. So, your hips are ruled by the first chakra, and your knees are ruled by the first chakra. Now, this is where I am blazing and unconditionally loving because my knees are not the happiest of campers on my body. So if you have any areas of your first chakra that need a lot of unconditional love and violet light, give it on, and try to remember to do it for 3 days. Anything we can consecutively do for 3 days makes a big difference. 3 days. And then down the skeletal system to that next ball and socket joint of your ankles and part of your first chakra. Blaze, blaze, blaze a violet fire and send unconditional love. We call upon our ankles very heavily, and our knees, and our hips, well, our whole body, but first chakra is pretty important. All right, now bring it all back up to the first chakra. And blaze, blaze, blaze the violet fire into your first chakra. And unconditionally love your first chakra. And you see this blazing, beautiful red. So let's take a moment to integrate that a little bit. And so, Shawnna, you want to share a little bit? Maybe if 1 or 2 people wrote something, we'll just do the writing part for this. You can read that. Later on, we'll have a chance to actually talk.
Yeah, we have we have, yeah, if you want to offer any comments or experiences, you're welcome to share that in the chat box. We have physical locations, so we can share that maybe once we get to the planetary merging.
Yes, the physical locations are great. They can all get a chance to write it in their chat box.
I do, personally, I'm glad you walked us through that experience. As I was learning, going back and learning more about the chakras in detail, I have a newfound appreciation for the root chakra. Like you said, it's the physical part that carries the entire body, and this is the root chakra that it manages the flow of the prana force from the planet into your body. And so it's very important. This is what people experience difficulties in the first chakra whenever they go through the awakening process, processing feelings of fear or insecurity, anxiety, and these are the things that are quite common when you go through the awakening process. So it's been fun to focus on that. So Lucero did share that it was a great meditation on the first chakra. Actually saw that my knees needed some unconditional love and violet flame. So along with you, Sue.
Yes.
And Alex shares that Gaia is so grateful for what we're doing right now and happy that so she can help us more.
Yes, great. Okay, so then I'll move on to the second chakra now. Oh, no, wait. I'm going to bring in Gaia. Okay, now what I'm going to do, and I'm going to ask you to help me a little bit, Shawnna, because I am going to channel Gaia, which I have done before, and so love to do. And I'm going to begin by just letting her in and having her share a bit of her wonderful energy. And I remind all of you, and I'm knowing full well that you are totally aware of this, that Gaia is a living being. And just like we have a physical body, but we have a soul and an essence inside of us, that if that essence dies, our physical body dies. Now, the same with Gaia. Gaia is a being. She is a sentient being. And she has evolved beyond having a physical body and has moved into the process, long, long ago, of being a planetary body. Now, if the planet dies, then Gaia will still be alive, just like if we die, we're still alive. But if Gaia dies, the planet dies. So the soul is what enlivens the being, whether it's a personal, planetary, solar system, galactic, universal being. All life is alive. Everything is alive, even like a dead table. That's living wood. And objects, even metal objects such as steel that are created by man, objects, they collect the auras of the people. And that's why psychics can pick up, touch a table or pick up a ring or touch a wall or touch an entranceway and get a huge reading, because the finer frequencies that experience that physicality remain attached to that physicality. Now, I'm going to bring in Gaia. And Shawnna, maybe you could ask Gaia a couple of questions, and then that helps me really get attached to my Gaia self.
Okay.
All right. Is that all right with you?
Okay.
Okay. All right. Oh, and as I'm getting attached to Gaia, I ask that every one of you take your moment and feel that sweet essence. Oh, instantly, I just felt it flood in. Oh, Gaia is such an amazing, loving being. And Oh, we humans, we have been difficult children to raise. Now, any of you that are parents and have a difficult child, you understand Gaia. All right. Beloved, beloved humans, I am so happy that you are here within this now of our oneness. I rejoice so to see my human ones awakening and assisting me in such great manners as all of you are doing. So I begin my presentation by thanking every one of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And now I would like to speak a bit about my first chakra on Mount Sinai. And my dear friend Shawnna is going to initiate that by asking a few questions. And if there's any questions that you have, please write them, and Shawnna will be happy to transfer those questions to me.
Thank you. We appreciate you joining us. It's so wonderful to have you here with us. How do you perceive this root chakra of the planet? How do you sense and experience this?
Oh, this area of my body has been so unhappy for so very, very, very long. It was a very early civilization, and it was one of the very first places that humanity began their physical realities, because there are many realities that I experienced before I fell to the level in which I was so physical that physical beings could actually take life forms on me. But this was one of the very first areas that physical beings took life force. And I have seen amazingly, beautifully wonderful peak societies within this area of my beloved body fall into decades and decades and decades of unresolved wars. And I so thank you all for sending your wonderful unconditional love to these areas. And as you do so, if you could send eternal peace, I would greatly appreciate that. So there are any questions either from you, Shawnna, or from anyone in this meeting?
Yeah, one just came in and it's asking, how does, or maybe does, Mount Sinai relate to Lemuria or Atlantis?
This area of my body was not always a vast desert. At one quote in your time, end quote, it was beautiful and green and had beautiful societies on the earth and above the earth. But it became a an area where polarities began to separate, and they separated quite extremely, initially through the separation of male and female. And as the separation of male and female within the human form advanced due to human-made concepts, which were actually introduced by the Dark Ones and purposefully created wars and enemies so that this area has been in such long conflict for myriad, myriad ages in some form or another. And this area to me is very precious It is very precious because it is a center of great spirituality that has been covered by the fear and domination. And so if you, my beloved ones, can transmute that light, that darkness into light, if you can blaze, blaze, blaze your violet fire over this area of my body, I will be very grateful. Are there any more questions or comments regarding this area of my body?
Sorry. um, would you kindly give some basic advice? This is from Alex about how better to be of service in this root chakra frequency.
Well, since it is I, Gaia, who is speaking, I am speaking for my particular body, but knowing full well that I am attached. Each of my planetary bodies resonate to the same frequency as your physical body chakras. And so as you clear your chakras, you clear my chakras as well. And again, it is peace and forgiveness. Because peace and forgiveness are the same, are they not? How could you have peace without forgiveness? And once all is forgiven, why would you want to release forgiveness and lose that wonderful peace? So now, as we go into this area of my body, I invite you to focus your attention on this area on your body. So as you focus your attention on your physical root chakra, I ask that you blend, merge, combine that attention, that love, that unconditional love, unconditional forgiveness, unconditional acceptance. If you merge that with this area of my planetary body, and as you feel this merging, I ask first that you feel the great peace that I am calling for. And so the way that you do this is that you find peace within yourself. For how can my human ones give away what they do not have within themselves? This is why I accept the beings of such darkness, that they have fallen out of their ability to love. And I can forgive them, for I know how broken they truly are. And I ask that you do so as well. I ask that as you look at this area of my body, this my first chakra, that you look at any enemy that you have conceived of or feared within your physical life, your life of your area, life of your state, of your country, of your planet. If you can send unconditional forgiveness to whomever you have perceived as an enemy, so that you can release that battle and live in peace. And blaze, blaze, blaze a violet fire, transmuting all conflict into peace, peace, peace. And now ground that peace in my first chakra of the Middle East. Now Mount Sinai has been many people that have said, this is Mount Sinai, that is Mount Sinai. The reality, Mount Sinai is a symbol. It's a symbol of climbing to the peak to receive the tablets from God, and then climbing down to see what happened in your absence, and how will you deal with what has happened? Can you love? Can you forgive? Can you guide them to the new world? Yes, you can. I, your mother, see that you can. Blessings. Okay, Shawnna, any comments by you or by anybody else?
Oh goodness. Yes, that was very, well, for me, that was very emotional. I mean, I had tears. Yeah, I felt that one deep.
Mhm. It is, you know, we have to know that this is Sue now, that we create our reality. And I've said this to several people, but I can't say it enough because it's an adventure I had with the Arcturians. It was so enlightening. And the Arcturians asked me to go inside and forgive the beings of darkness. And when I went inside to forgive the beings of darkness, I began to sob. All I could do was cry. And I came back out and I said, who am I to forgive them?
Hmm.
You know, I've done stuff too. And and when I forgave them, I saw why. I saw what they had to go through and how it happened and how they ended up that way. And so I couldn't blame them enough to forgive them. Does that make sense?
Hmm. Because we,
Yeah.
that's us. We are one.
That's us. Yes. Yes. We are all one, whether we know it or not. So, all right. And did you say there was a comment or anything?
Yeah, so Alex shares he's overwhelmed and deeply moved, and the Arcturians are online helping too. Um, Jennifer shares that the truth was truly was very emotional and tearful, so she felt it too. Yes, thank you so much for the sweet interaction with their dear mother Gaia. Yes, what a blessing! What a blessing to have her here to share that with us.
Yes, it is a blessing for sure. And I've been putting on uh, the things on the blog. I remembered that I had shared like 7 messages from Gaia, so I'm putting them on the blog, so you'll get to hear all those there on my YouTube as well. But they're highlighted. This Gaia is such a
Right,
wonderful, loving being.
right, yeah.
All right, so now onward to our second chakra. Now again, all the information that you might need about the second chakra is presented on the blog, and you will get it in the information. And this webinar was for creating an experience of what you have been reading. Now, I ask you to go into your navel chakra, and as you go into your navel chakra, you can feel your inner child. And your first chakra, in some ways, is because it directly connects you to the planet, it is your warrior. And just as the planet protects you and as the planet is calling on you for protection, your ability to be a protector is within that first chakra. And we are all keepers. There's keepers of the land, which were meant to be the humanoids, and keepers of the water, which are the cetaceans, the whales, and the dolphins. And of course, they remained in the light and they never lost their multidimensional consciousness. But humanity, we went right into the clair. So many of us got lost. And we are becoming found. So that's wonderful to know. And as each of you realize the part of ourselves that is the most resistant to becoming found is our wounded child. And within that workshop from the school that we had, where people just openly and honestly shared their wounded child, it was just beautiful. And so we're asking now that all of you take a look at your wounded child, because it is pretty difficult to go through a whole life without some kind of wounding in your childhood. And that wounding in your childhood is the holder of the part of you that you forgot. So we ask that you just allow yourself to go into that wounding, and for the purposes of this now, just see that wounding almost like, a darkness or a shield or scar tissue or whatever. And inside, there is your child. Now, we're not asking you even to think about the wounding or to heal the wounding. But what we are asking you is to reach in and rescue that child and pull that child up from your third chakra, your second chakra temporarily, and pull him, her to your heart and hold that child and love that child. And oh, I love you so much. Thank you for taking that lesson for me. And I promise you, if there's anything left, I'm going to get back in there. And I am going to process it and release it because I need you. I need what you know. I need your innocence. I need your ability to be psychic. I need your vision of all your guides. I need all the wonderful gifts that somehow got lost when you grew up. So now lovingly place your child back into your second chakra and make a deal. Now, this is me, Sue. I remember I had to find the place on my body that would be the hurt most when I was upset. And of course, emotions, second chakra, there it was. And so my inner child, I said, okay, inner child, anytime you want to talk to me, just give me a symptom in my second chakra and I will talk to you. And then I would do things like, as soon as I was in a situation I felt uncomfortable, my hands would instantly go right to that area. And I would protect my inner child. So I'm asking now that you all make that kind of agreement with your inner child. And of course you will get the recording, so this is something that takes more time than we have here. You can stop the recording and do some journaling or go into meditation or whatever you need to do to make that agreement that, dear inner child, I love you and I will protect you because I am your parent now. And you are my most vulnerable self and the me that is most connected to my true self. Now allow that experience, that energy, that deal to be made. Shawnna, maybe you can say something to help everyone kind of ground it before we go on to the planetary part.
Oh, sure. So the second chakra, very, it's our navel, our connection to, our birth mother, and then in the material you share that, we evolve into the connection to our planetary mother, our earth mother, to Gaia. So that's how we continually receive that unconditional love, that nurturing that maybe we did not experience as children. I know we've seen lots of commonality among our students in our classes that, a lot of us have had difficult childhoods, and their lessons and opportunities for growth. So having that safety, that nurturing at this point is quite important.
Yes, and also because we came for Gaia and because we are ascending. That in other lives, we could leave some garbage behind because I'll pick it up in the next life. No, we are logging out of the 3D matrix. So we need to clean up everything. We need to go down to the cellar, up into the attic, go into the closets, and clean, clear, get it all ready because we're ready to flash into light body. And that means that we have to clean up every part of ourselves. And, I've heard some people say, when will it happen? And, when, what are you doing now? We have a lot of healing to do within ourselves because we can only give out what we have within. And so as we really love ourselves, we can really love others. We can really love the planet. And I'm sure all of you have had friends or been in relationships with people that just weren't able to love themselves. And they were maybe able to love you to a certain extent, but they couldn't go very far with it because it wasn't inside of them. And all of you, you have that inside of you. You all have it inside of you. If you are drawn here, if you are drawn to this recording, this class, this anything, you have it inside of you. Because it would be too terrifying if you didn't. So feel your innocence. Because if we can meet every moment of our day with the innocence of a child, we will live in unconditional love. All right. Now, any conclusions there, Shawnna, or should we move on to the Brazilian Amazon?
We do have a comment that just came in. Doesn't it really make sense that the second chakra sometimes is called the sacral or holy chakra?
Ah, yes, definitely the holy chakra. Like, holy cow, look at those emotions.
Well, I thought it was fun as, in your material you share going from the first chakra to the second. So the first one is holding that masculine, that outflow, which is the mountainous form on the planet. The second
Yeah.
chakra, and you're about to get to that, you'll see what it is, but it's the feminine, it's a more feminine aspect, of course, connected, to navel, childbirth, nurturing, sexuality, sensual feelings. So it's interesting to see that kind of polarity too, from going from masculine to feminine.
Well, thank you for reminding me of that. And if I forget it, will you please add that because that's an important component.
Mm-hmm.
Because once I'm channeling, I don't know what I'm going to say. I can't even remember after I said it. So
Right.
if you can help me out, that's great. Yes, and this chakra, of course, is in the Brazilian Amazon. And there's an old-fashioned word that's called fecundity. And what it means is that it's filled with life. Filled with life. And the Brazilian Amazon is filled with life. And there is not a single disease on this planet that could not be healed by something that was found in the Brazilian Amazon. And unfortunately, we know what's happening to all of the great forests. So yes, we send them love. All right, now I'm going to bring in Gaia. Oh, my beloved children. Oh, you're in one of my most favorite places. Oh, I so love the Brazilian Amazon. I so love all expressions of life. And I love that there are still peoples that can live in tribal light and unity and love me as them. And they live in complete alignment with my ecosystem. And they never take back anything that they can't replace. They live in a constant flow. And these people that have been called natives or unevolved are actually some of the main leaders of my transmutation, because they learned long ago and have maintained that quality through ages and ages of sharing with me. If they take from me, they give to me. If they take from me, they say thank you. And the native peoples, the Native Americans, the natives in the Amazon, and the natives of the North Pole, and all the different indigenous peoples, they all live in unity with me. And, quote, civilized man, and again, this was influenced from the forces of darkness that are not actually true humans. And we, speaking of myself, the planet, we allowed these laggards, these lost ones, back onto our planet, as I speak in plural for the planet and individual for me. I allowed them back to our planet, and they had to dominate. The power over that they had gained before they came, they brought with them. And we wish all of you, dear ones, who have found your great power within and know from your great power within, and as you have just done, connected that power within with your inner warrior and with my body. I so depend on you, my beloved ones, to send love and light to those lost ones. In fact, my Amazon is wonderful. It is beautiful. The only problem is that those lost ones are putting their heavy machines through and knocking down my wonderful jungles. And therefore, I ask you all to assist me. I want you to ask those hiding under the corporate umbrellas, hiding within a humanoid-shaped form, hiding within their greed and their deep, deep pain. If you can send them unconditional love and unconditional forgiveness. So we ask, meaning all of our wonderful beings that live within the Amazon jungle and live within all areas of my beloved planet, if you can ask them to join you. For every being in my Amazon jungle is alive. Each tree is alive, each bug is alive, each drop of water, each bush, each fish, each person, everything is alive. Everything is alive on my planet, but the Amazon is a perfect example of everything being totally alive. So I'm going to take you and allow you, feel yourself now walking through my jungle. And as you walk through my jungle, I'm going to ask you to do something that you probably wouldn't really do unless you had always been barefooted. But in this case, you are not in your physical form. Feel your bare feet on that warm, damp earth. And feel all the life, all the bugs, all the creatures, all the lizards, and smell the jungle. Smell all the aromas. And reach out, and touch the ground, touch all the different leaves. And your are drawn to a certain plant. And as you go to that certain plant, go forward and touch that certain plant and allow that plant to tell you how it can heal. It can heal humanity and how it can heal life and how it can heal you. Feel how that plant speaks to you. Feel how my earth speaks to you. Feel how the birds, their beautiful calls, speak to you. And how the sky speaks to you, how the huge jungles speak to you, and the rain speaks to you, and the waters all speak to you. Feel that resonance as it flows throughout your body. And as you love that resonance within yourself, you love my Amazon jungle. And I thank you for that. Thank you. And blessings. So it's me. And of course, I never know what anyone's going to say when I channel. And I think it's very interesting that she wanted us to go inside of it. And that's like a jungle. You go inside a jungle. Right, Shawnna? Not that I've ever been inside a jungle, but
Yeah.
I've been inside the redwood forest, which is very, very primal. And when I go inside the redwood forest, which I'm going to be doing in a few weeks, it is blissful heaven. I am literally on Lemuria. It's just amazing.
Oh, I'm so glad she took us on the jungle journey. When I was reading through the information, I mean, I visualized myself, walking through the jungle and smelling the plants and flowers and seeing all the wildlife, the animals, because it's so alive. It is full of life. It is the womb of the planet. I mean, it's amazing
Mm-hmm.
and so powerful. It's
And that's our womb. Our womb is Gaia's womb. Our inner warrior is fighting for Gaia. And our inner womb, whether you're male or female, you still have the potential to create. And whatever you create comes from your womb, from your second chakra. And men create in a more outward fashion, so to speak, and women create very often in a more inward fashion. But now we're all kind of merged, and men and women kind of all. When I was young, boys did this and girls did that, and you did not do the other. It was no. Girls had to wear girdles in high school. I mean, really, what were we, size 3 or something? And we could have colors, but we had to have girdles and must wear a bra and nylons with those horrible little things, pantyhose things that fit into your leg, because that's all we had. Didn't have pantyhose. I'm really dating myself, right? Guys could wear gray, blue, or brown or black, and they didn't ever. I can't think of a single guy with colored shirt. I mean, maybe solid color, but if it was anything bright, that was like, oh, that was too feminine. Oh, why are you doing that? So it was strictly divided. And now, oh, the blend of masculine and feminine is just beautiful. I don't know if any of you are from my generation. Well, I'm sure if you did. If any of you do, you can give it a hi and say, yes, I remember. Do you
well,
have any comments?
uh, well, as oh, oh, that's nice. So Michelle's saying, is it possible that the Amazon could be the template for the physical new Earth? She saw this very image that is shared here in a dream, and she was flying over it. This is giving me chills. She was flying over it and believed she was witnessing the early days of the new Earth.
Yes, that is absolutely possible. And my first spiritual teacher back in the 70s, she told me, and I never forgot, that um, on the fifth dimensional Earth, the Amazon is a huge crystal city, all crystal.
Mhm.
And when she told me that, I saw a picture, and I've had that picture ever since, of this beautiful crystalline. It is definitely. a interdimensional mecca.
Wow. And I think there's a movie my friend was sharing with me. I forgot the name of it. I apologize, but it was about all of the medicinal, remedies and natural healing. I mean,
Yeah,
it is full of just magic, just natural healing. And Alex is saying
yeah,
the same thing. And
it-
so many
yeah.
medicine, it's come from that area.
So any other comments or anything?
That looks like it's about it for now.
Right. So let's all take a moment now. And as you feel the Brazilian Amazon within your second chakra, go all the way up into your fifth dimensional light body self and see a huge, huge area of vast crystal buildings, pillars, landing stations, and bright golden light. All right, now we are moving in to the third chakra. So do you want to do a little introduction on the third chakra? Because you always remember things that I forget, so that works good.
Oh. Oh my goodness. Yeah, let me see. Off the top of my head. Well, okay, so the solar, yeah, the gold, the yellow, and I was just reading through this and thinking how interesting it was that, we associate the color yellow with fear, but when we reach a higher level of this chakra, it turns a more golden, and that's when we surrender ourself, and that's when we become, on the path to self-realization and surrender our little minds and wills to the greater will and greater good and become more evolved. So I thought that was a really interesting introspection to begin with.
Yes, exactly. And one of the main things that I have associated with that third chakra is it holds that polarity of power within and power over.
hmm
So we have that choice of focusing on our power within or become worried with our power over that somebody else has power over us, or we fall into having power over someone else. And so that is a challenge of this chakra um, on a higher level in that, and it's also very, very busy. I mean, there's so many major organs like your liver, your gallbladder, your stomach, your spleen, your pancreas. That's all about taking in, absorbing, digesting, using, and sending off the waste material. It's a very busy place. And one of the things that happens as we begin our process of transmuting into light body is that what what we eat, how we digest it, how it moves through our organs, all changes. I told I have heard from so many people and had way personal experience that my body just says, no, you can't eat this. I mean, I would literally, my throat would close. It was like, okay, fine, got it. I don't want to choke to death. I will not ever eat you again. And then my throat wouldn't close. So um, really listen to your body as you go through this process because your body is your earth. And just like Gaia, excuse me, water, just like Gaia holds it all, your body is of Gaia. You have the same earth, same air, same fire, same ethers, same light, everything. You have the elementals, earth, air, fire, water, that come into your body with every breath, and then you influence it, and then you breathe it out with your out breath, and then that influences others. We are one. And our third chakra is what digests and integrates all this information. Now, many of us that were psychic as children had eating disorders, eating problems, couldn't eat, couldn't digest. I was a mess. I was a mess. Um, and when we go through times of great transition, then the first thing that goes down is we just can't digest. Uh, and in fact, as I was first beginning my process, I learned that I could say, wait a second, I need a break. I need to slow this down for a minute. I can't digest it. So I want to say to all of you, if it's coming on too hot and heavy, you can say, dear one, dear Gaia, dear whoever you speak with, I need a little recess now. I need some time to just chill and to allow this to integrate. And I needed the most time when it came to my third chakra. That's when I needed the most time. How about you, Shawnna? How's your third chakra talk to you?
Well, this is, yeah, it's an important chakra. I think, as you mentioned, that power within, power over others. I think, this one also has to do with that masculine and feminine balance. That this one talks about the yin and the yang, and how if it, sometimes if you're leaning more to the feminine side, you might feel more powerless. If you lean towards the masculine, that tends to be the more power over others. So there's a nice balance in the middle, and I think that's what we all kind of strive for. And I've certainly, had personal experiences where you kind of feel powerless sometimes, and I can certainly associate with that. And then, trying to figure out, okay, assertiveness, strength, and power within. Let's have a balance here. And yeah, it's just interesting to consider as you come into your personal power.
Yes, absolutely. And I was an audiologist for many years, and so I think a lot about the inflow and outflow. Maybe there's the inflow coil and the outflow coil, and one's blue and one's red. So I, stick it into the machine and then put it onto the earphones, and
Mhm.
and that's kind of what this area does. It helps to regulate the inflow and the outflow. Okay, so now
Mhm.
let's all have a meditation. I didn't do a meditation for the third chakra yet. I've just been yakking, right?
Right. We're in the intro. Well, kind
Okay,
of.
good. That was a long intro, but
It
it was just
was.
so important. The third chakra is uh, one that really lights up as we start coming into our power. And I know all of you are really in your power and expanding your power. And so I wanted to really put an accent on that. Now, so take a long, slow, deep breath and align yourself as you look into your third chakra. And use your psychic vision, your clairvoyance, and your psychic hearing, your clairaudience, and your physical hearing, your experience, your clairsentience, to look in and perceive however you perceive it. If there is any particular place that needs extra love, and send it unconditional love. If there's any particular place that is beaming light, then yes, love it. And in fact, I'm going to share my experience, and hopefully maybe some of you will share yours. And of course, Shawnna, she has to share hers too. But my experience, when I look in there, I see right in the middle, it's almost like a sun that's very powerful, and it beams out, and that's like, yes, that feels wonderful. But then along the top, where I may even have a little ulcer, and that started really hurting when I got my Ph.D. and worked full time and was married and had two kids that were teenagers. Whew, okay, that was stress. And so there was an injury done there. and it got accented when both my parents died and I had to, empty out their house. That was probably the worst part of everything, seeing that life that they had just ending. Then I had a bleeding ulcer there. So it was, that's my place, and I send you lots and lots of love to your part. It's that transition. And what I got is, this is the place where we take everything from our childhood, all of our emotions, all of our past traumas, and we try to bring it up into our heart. And our heart, the great integrator, so that we can love it free. And, I had quite a barrier there I had to work with. And my body had a barrier there. So look inside and see if your flow is complete. So start by looking down uh, from your third chakra. Look into your navel, and is your third chakra connected? In other words, is your power and your psychic abilities? This is very psychic. It's not the same as metaphysical. This is your psychic body. And psychic, that means you have to master it, because psychic, you could pick up bad psychic if you don't have, know what to do with that energy field, which as children, we don't. So a lot of you, I know from talking to you, were psychic children, and whoa, that's a little challenging. And so make peace between the psychic center and your inner child and say, okay, I'm all grown up now, inner child, and I have more control of my psychic energy, and I'm going to protect you, and I'm going to protect me from taking in some psychic energy I do not want to have. And then connecting it down to that inner warrior of your first chakra that says, oh, you're not going to mess with me. Okay, connect those three. And something that I have given to a lot of my clients when I was doing psychotherapy and other kinds of readings now, if you're having trouble with your third chakra, that's likely because you're getting too much psychic feedback from the world. And so visualize this golden, like a screen door. You don't want a door because you want it. So like a screen door is that you could open up your door to get all the fresh air, but the bugs can't come in. And if somebody wants to, knock on your door and try and sell you something, there's a little barrier there. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm not available now. Then you just close the regular door too. Okay, so feel like a screen door. And just like if you look to the screen door, it's one of your best friends, just say, oh, hi, you run over and you open the screen door, you let them right in. So you are the one who regulates the screen door. So if it is something that you want to perceive, if it is a love-based psychic information, you just throw open that screen door, come on in, and give each other a hug. But you have this opportunity, like if you're at work and the boss is having a really bad day, or suddenly your spouse is like grouchy, or your child is having a tantrum. Okay, screen door up. Okay, so then you can remain detached from that psychic input, and you can act as if you're calm. Great. So now I would love to hear some of you about the screen door thing, because I've done this with lots of people, and it's really effective if you do it. Shawnna, you want to be the first one to share about the screen door? Did you put a little screen door up there?
Oh, well, I I think, for quite some time, I honestly I didn't have that awareness that sometimes, when you feel emotions or struggles or um, disruptions in your emotional energy field or mental field or physical, whatever, that, it could be interference from others because, a lot of us I'm certain are, as you said, empathic and feel that and can sense that. And sometimes we don't know if it's ours or someone else's. We're like, what is this anger? What is this fear? And
Yeah,
you pick up on it. But
that's
knowing,
great. That's great you bring that
yeah.
part up, yeah.
Yeah. And so knowing that, the solar plexus is so important to be protected. And I remember reading that, and I've heard different habits that people have to protect that area because you're quite susceptible to picking that up from others. So being mindful of that. And one of our attendees does share, she says, psychic childhood really was a problem. So gratitude for the reminder to heal that.
Yes. And don't forget the screen door.
And this,
So I'd like to give a
yes.
little bit of feedback. Could someone share about the screen door? You can start. Did you do the screen door exercise that I just did? Oh, you didn't do it? No.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, good.
Well, no, I mean it's like a filter.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I
So
see it as
can you feel the difference?
I
If
see
you
it.
like open up the screen door and then close the screen door, can you feel that difference that, there's a level of protection.
Hmm.
And as we become more and more awake, we become more and more psychic. And so we really want to, be in control of what we pick up and what we don't pick up. And what will happen now, because my screen door is firmly planted, I can tell, like, oh, over there's that feeling. I don't feel another person's feeling inside of me now because I have my screen door. And so when I feel that inside of them, I'm fairly confident that, well, that the person's having that feeling, maybe I can help. Or I think I better just let them go for this because they don't want help. But without the screen door, we get our stuff messed up with their stuff, and it's more difficult to deal with people.
Hmm.
Any screen door? Come on, somebody. I'm going to ask somebody.
Do you want to have?
Okay,
We have two
Ruth has a
hands.
hand.
We have two
I
hands
don't know
raised.
what okay, I don't know what it's from. Ruth, okay, I'm unmuting you, Ruth. Because this screen door thing is so important. Were you
Hmm.
going to talk about the screen door, or has your hand been up forever? And I didn't see it.
Yeah, it's been up, but maybe she'll have an experience to share.
Okay, Ruth, are you there? No? Okay. All right. Well, you can write it down, or if you want to talk later, please let us know. And here's Diane. Diana? Okay, you have your hand up. Did you want to share about the screen door, Diana? Or anything? No? Okay. All right. So we're just gonna go for what they write. All right. But once some people start talking, then everybody can start talking. So maybe some of the people from the school can get that started to encourage other people that it's actually fun to have a voice
Hmm.
and to share what's happening with you. And as you do it in a protective environment like this, then it makes it easier to do it in your daily life. Because now back to that third chakra, this is where we can feel a conflict because the chakra says one thing and the person's voice says something else. And so, wow, am I being rude? Or is this person really feeling this way and speaking that way? And so if that's the case, if you speak to what they're saying, it's just probably going to be a fight because they're covering up their feelings. And if you use that screen door and you see what they're really talking about, you can get right to the issue. It's like, so, oh, I'm so sorry that you feel that way, or, oh, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings, or what can I do for you, or something like that, because you don't get engaged in their emotional affect and you can see the cause. All right, now we are moving on to Gaia, who is now going to talk about Mount Kilimanjaro in Africa, which is the third chakra. Oh, great picture. Thank
Hmm.
you. Now, oh, I love my African plains. I love Africa. Of course, I love every part of my body. And I just am aware of how much I love them. And so I thank you all for coming to this meeting. for me, I'm so honored. I'm so honored that you think of me and that you are thinking of me. Oh, if you know how often humanity has not thought of me. But in Africa, they think of me. Now, not all of the humans think of me. The natives, as they would be called, think of me. They are me. The animals think of me. They are me. And in Africa, everything is so big that it's a juxtaposition. On the Amazon, things are tight and surrounded and close. In Africa, everything is huge, wide open. And Mount Kilimanjaro is pretty much a stand-alone mountain in that it is not a mountain that is part of mountain peaks. It's not part of a mountain range. It is its mountain. I am Kilimanjaro. And that is why it so represents this masculine chakra, again, a mountain peak, and that third chakra of I am myself. I stand firm within myself. And you can see the color of the grass is pretty much the color of the third chakra. And so feel that part of you that stands alone. Now, when we say stand alone, we don't mean that you are alone. We mean, like this picture, you are the peak. You are the leader. You are the one that others look towards. And around you is your life. And so we want you to take a bilocation to the top of Mount Kilimanjaro. Now, since you're in your etheric body, you will not be concerned by the snow. And of course, you will not fall. But you might want to look over and see, wow, that is really steep and really high, and it's a long ways down there. And as you see that, think about how far you have come. You have come a long ways. You have climbed this mountain of yourself. And we're going to ask you now, from this mountain peak, to look to the east. And in the east, you see all of my beautiful lands that surround my Mount Kilimanjaro. And you see that which is rising up in your reality as the sun rises in the east. And to feel this newness within you as you stand alone and share this new gift with my third chakra, with my vast African plains, and with the overseer of those plains, my beloved Mount Kilimanjaro. And now we ask you to turn around and look to the west of the setting sun. And as you look to the west, what is it that you see leaving your reality? And love it free. Love it all free. And as you look to the west of the vast areas around Mount Kilimanjaro, see what is leaving. See the poachers all leaving. Every poacher is leaving. Blaze, blaze, blaze of violet fire, transmuting every poacher into a loving being who has been taught to farm and to care for themselves. And while you're at it, to make sure that that happens, blaze, blaze, blaze a violet fire to anybody who would ever want to kill a magnificent animal such as an elephant or such as a rhinoceros to get some kind of fake medicinal whatever when they could just go to the Amazon where it's growing free. Blaze, blaze, blaze a violet fire. Take a moment and see those vast storehouses filled with elephant tusks and with rhinoceros horns and with your beautiful imagination. Blaze, blaze, blaze the violet fire, and within your world you are reconnecting each tusk, each horn to the being and breathing life and light into the being. In other words, you are moving through the illusion of time to the time before they were killed so that a desperate person could poach to survive for their families. So that people of the darkness would pay them money without any consideration of the beautiful, magnificent beings that were murdered. Feel how you have the power to go back in time. And as you go back in time, in the now, heal and restore every elephant, every rhinoceros, every lion, every tiger, every bird, every magnificent being that lives in Africa, every hyena, every snake, everything, back to its purity that you will all find in Gaia's my fifth dimensional reality. Thank you so much for helping me. And I will help you to find a way to assist my wonderful animals that are being murdered for greed. Blessings be to all of you. Thank you so very much for assisting me and my world, your planet, your mountains, your life. Take a long moment now, and I want you to feel the Middle East. And as you fly over the Middle East with your multidimensional consciousness, you can see the peace. And you can see the wonderful families and the myriad different types of cultures that live in peace together, in oneness. And as you then fly your multidimensional plane over the Amazon jungle, you see that it is renewed and that it is beautiful and filled with life, and the waters are clear, and everyone lives in harmony with my body. And sprinkled throughout that wonderful jungle are huge, vast pillars, crystal pillars. And it's through these crystal pillars that this fifth dimensional light can come in to my womb. And so that I can create my reality in higher frequencies and higher frequencies and higher frequencies. And now bring your multidimensional plane over Mount Kilimanjaro, where you get the vast view of my beautiful Africa, and see all the animals restored and free and able to live in peace. For those, the predators, they go after the weak. So it is not that they are being horrible. They are working within nature. For those beings would not have survived anyhow. Any baby that's close from the herd would not survive. Any animal that is sick would not survive. So they actually are very effective and very important for my ecosystem. I thank you so very much for the gifts that you give to me, your planet. Blessings. Okay, Shawnna, how was your little journey around Gaia's reality that we have now done wonderful work to assist?
Wow. Well, it was a fun exploration. I'm glad that she brought it all together in the end and seeing it transmuted. And so the work that we do within ourselves is reflected, and we see the perfection in the areas and the return back to its pristine beauty and honoring and respect and perfection.
Yes. And if any of you have questions, write that down into the question, or you can put your hand up and ask the question. And we have a few minutes for a few questions. And I'm going to bring in the Arcturians for a few minutes while we're seeing if anybody wants to share. And if not, then please share it with someone, because that is how you pass it on. When you gain wisdom, when you gain knowledge, pass it on. Pass it on to someone in some way, in any way that you want. But sharing is what allows the unity. Beloved ones, we are the Arcturians, and we are so happy that you have all joined us, and our so beloved Gaia, our so beloved Gaia. If you could see how joyous she is at what you have contributed to her, she is very happy. And we want you all to remember that Gaia is a living being. She is alive just like you are alive. And she is such an ascended being that a mere physical form could not contain her. And so therefore she had to have a planetary being. And as you all ascend, Gaia is also going to ascend into a higher frequency of reality as well. And all of you are so important for this process. Please honor who you are and remember you are very important. Thank you so much. Now, Ruth has her hand up. Let's see. Ruth, did you want to share something or ask something? No, it's been up from before. Okay, all righty. So anything you want to say in conclusion, Shawnna?
Well, I've truly enjoyed, the exploration and all the learning and the new perspectives and I think it's fun to have this actual hands-on process, because we all want to do our part to assist the planet. Let's do what we can. We know we heal ourselves first, and then that kind of transforms into planetary healing as well. But it's so fun to actually get together in a group and come together to heal together ourselves and the planet all at once. And it's so powerful. So thank you, thank Gaia, thank the Arcturians, thank all of you on here. We are making a difference, and I can feel it, within myself.
Great, thank you. Now, as we leave, I'm going to go through each name, and we will all together in unity send that person unconditional love and violet fire, just like we did on many of the chakras. Unconditional love and violet fire. So we'll start with Shawnna and focus unconditional love and violet fire on Shawnna. And if anyone wants to send some unconditional love and violet fire my way, yep, I'm fine to get it. Now we're sending some unconditional love and violet fire to Alberto. So we'll send it now with our breath. Now we're sending unconditional love and violet fire to Alex with our breath. And we're sending unconditional love and violet fire to Linda with our breath. We're sending unconditional love and violet fire to Carolyn with our breath. We're sending unconditional love and violet fire to Diana with our breath. We're sending unconditional love and violet fire with our breath to Frederick. We're sending unconditional love and violet fire with our breath to Gwen. We are sending unconditional love and violet fire with our breath to Janice. We're sending unconditional love and violet fire with our breath to Jasmine. We're sending unconditional love and violet fire to Jennifer with our breath. We're sending unconditional love and violet fire to Carla with our breath. Unconditional love and violet fire to Luana with our breath. We're sending unconditional love and violet fire to Lucero with our breath. We're sending unconditional love and violet fire to Michelle with our breath. We're sending unconditional love and violet fire to Monica with our breath. We're sending unconditional love and violet fire to another Monica with our breath. We're sending unconditional love and violet fire to Natalie with our breath. We're sending unconditional love and violet fire to Pamela with our breath. We are sending unconditional love and violet fire to Petra with our breath. We are sending, we are sending unconditional love and violet fire to Rajunath. Excuse me if I said that wrong. With our breath. We are sending unconditional love and violet fire to Ruth with our breath. We're sending unconditional love and violet fire with our breath to Ruth Ann. And we are sending unconditional love and violet fire to Stephanie with our breath. Now, I don't know about any of you, but the sending of the unconditional love and violet fire is every bit as powerful as the receiving. I want you all to remember what we give out circles back and we receive. So if we give out fear, well, that's going to come back. But if we give out unconditional love and violet fire, it comes back. And it was great going through the names, seeing some people that I haven't connected with for a while, and you know who you are, and I'm so happy that you've joined us. So anything you want to say in closing, Shawnna?
Yes, we lots of gratitude and thank yous coming in from everyone. They feel amazing. They're grateful to be involved in planetary healing. Thank you so much. And Alex says, shall we send our unconditional love and violet fire to Gaia too?
Oh, yes, Alex, very good idea. We can't forget that one. Well, we did that with our place, but now we're going to do the whole package, right? Thank you. All right. Let's all get together. And we're going to do the full blaze, blaze, blaze of violet fire transmuting all shadow into light, light, light. So feel that unconditional love inside yourself. And see, of course, we had to do it to the people first so that all of you people could feel how it feels inside of you. Because when you feel how unconditional love feels inside of you, your sending is much more powerful because you send it from the core of you. So go into the core of your unconditional love and send your unconditional love to beloved Gaia and to every component of her planetary beingness of Earth. And now to beloved Gaia and her amazing planetary being, we say as one being, blaze, blaze, blaze the violet fire, transmuting all shadow into light, light, light. Thank you, my ones. I am Gaia. I feel your gift, and I echo it back to each and every one of you. And thank you for joining me. And Shawnna will announce our next meeting. I hope all of you rejoin us and bring any of your friends that you wish. Or you can share the recording with them. In any way that you can share what we have done, please feel free. Please feel free. Post it, put it on your YouTube, put it on your Facebook, put it on your blog. Please. Suzelle does not own this information. Shawnna does not need to have this just for her. We send this out for you to share with everyone that you could possibly share it with. Blessings, blessings, and thank you so much. Shawnna, any final words?
Wow, well, that's a wonderful statement. It is a blessing for all to behold. So yes, please do share and thank you everybody. I can feel the love and what an amazing experience, Sue. Thank you.
Thank you, Gaia. Thank you, every one of you. And thank you, all you wonderful animals. Look at those beautiful creatures. Yes. If we could regain the wisdom of animals, we would have peace on earth and goodwill towards man. And we're doing it right now, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye, all of you.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.